Hello. As anticipated, I greatly enjoyed my time I was able to spend with Honorog. We met up for a Michigan State Michigan football game watch party. Even though the game didn't go that well, our conversation did, and I definitely learned a lot. Uh, the average day was starting pretty much the same, but with some marked differences. We both lived pretty close to our school, so getting to school was really no problem. I'd get up, eat a good breakfast, go to school around the same time, 8:30, 9 o'clock, do some extracurriculars at the end, and then come home. One of the differences we had that was a stress for me that I had to maintain a job all throughout high school after school. So I would come home 3:30 or 4, and then I would go to work for 5 or 6 hours after that. So I had to figure out how to get my homework done in school or after work. Work was Anurag's main focus in Nepal. That was his main job. So his parents provided everything he needed: transportation, food, whatever it was. But that wasn't the case for me. Uh, One thing that he didn't have to stress about that I did was relationships. Relationships were also frowned upon. Studying was his main job, so if word got around that, he had started a relationship with somebody or he went on a date or anything like that, it would come back to his parents, and that would be indicative that he wasn't focused enough on his studies. So, so that would have been a major cause of concern for his parents. It was fun to take a look back. Anurag graduated in 2003. I graduated in 2009. But I had brothers who graduated high school in the early 2000s. So the experiences were not that strange to me. I found it interesting that many times when he was explaining something he thought would be different, it really didn't turn out to be that different from what I experienced and what my brothers had experienced in the small town. Just looking back at the pictures and, talking about our experiences, our extracurriculars, that was our escape from, the stresses of studying. Grade 10, he had a major placement exam that he had to study for that would place him for grades 11 and 12 and springboard him into college, much like our standardized testing. So those were many of his stresses were studying for that test and the classes he would take in grades 11 and 10 or 11 and 12 to get into undergrad. He wanted to become a doctor. We both did. Neither one of us did, but we're still doing pretty well for ourselves. Uh, the major reflection I had from this was not so much how the culture changed things, because many of our experiences were the same, but how time changed things. I think a lot of the differences he was thinking we would have were because of our culture and our distance between America and Nepal. But I think it's more of a time issue. I think since he and I have been in high school, times have really changed, and it wasn't that different for us when we were both in high school last decade, but now the high school experience would be very different. So that kind of led me to reflect and be thankful for, the grounding I had with my family. The times I was able to grow up in weren't any better or any worse than what's going on now, but it really shaped me, and the experience that I had was truly unique and probably won't be had again. So it kind of made me think about that, and I really enjoyed the experience.